Well, it's that time of year where everyone's thinking about goals. As food allergy moms, we're no strangers to planning. We plan meals, we plan for emergencies, and most times we usually plan a backup plan. But what about setting intentional food allergy goals for ourselves and our families? In today's episode, we're talking about creating meaningful goals that make allergy life safer, more confident, and hopefully less stressful. Whether it's building life skills with your kids, becoming a better advocate, or even introducing a new food, this episode is here to help you set intentional goals that not only make life with food allergies more manageable today, but also build the skills and confidence your kids need to grow into empowered adults so that you can raise kids who live safely with food allergies and thrive with them. So grab a notebook, your favorite drink, and let's get to it. Hey food allergy mama, if you're here, you've likely experienced the scary and lonely food allergy diagnosis with your child. Unfortunately, food allergy parents aren't taught how to navigate the food allergy lifestyle, and it's easy to feel alone and discouraged sometimes. But I'm here to show you that food allergy life doesn't have to feel restrictive, scary, or isolated. I'm Karina, and I'm a 17-year food allergy mom and food allergy coach at Friendly Pantry Consulting. I specialize in making food allergy life safer and less worrisome for food allergy families like yours. I'm not perfect, but over 17 years, I've learned a lot the hard way, and I'm sharing the secrets and resources you won't hear anywhere else that will help you feel confident living with food allergies faster and easier than I did. From introducing allergens, travel, navigating school, and educating friends and family, this podcast will give you the essential tips and strategies you need to help your food allergy child and family thrive. Welcome to the show. This year, something incredible happened. My daughter, who has faced the challenges of food allergies her entire life, achieved a milestone that I wasn't sure we'd ever see. She went on an overnight trip with her high school band, which included a flight on an airplane. Yes, I was a chaperone, but I wasn't about to be there by her every side because as a high school kid, that just isn't cool. So let me set the stage. When the trip was announced, my stomach did a little flip. Overnight trips are stressful enough for parents, but when you add severe food allergies into the mix, it's a whole different ballgame. The thought of her navigating meals, snacks, and potential exposures in a group with little control and time restraints was daunting. But here's the thing. We've spent years building her skills, confidence, and independence. She knows how to read labels, advocate for herself, and carry her life-saving epinephrine. And while she's still my baby, she's also growing up. So we've got to work preparing for this adventure. We started early, meeting with her band director to make sure everything and everyone understood her needs. We created a detailed plan covering everything from the snacks she'd bring to how she'd handle meals. We even packed some backup meals just in case. Before she left, we found safe food options for every meal. And yes, one day they went to a place where it was called Granville Island Market, and there was only one place that we felt she could safely get food. We talked about what she would do if it happened to be closed, or it turned out to be not safe once we got there. We were ready with all the backup plans. And you know what? She nailed it. She advocated for herself when needed, and she followed every step we'd planned. Her bandmates and chaperones were supportive, and she had an amazing time. This trip wasn't just a win for her, it was a win for us. It reminded me that all those hours spent teaching, planning, and worrying are well worth it. It was proof that with preparation and support, she can trace her dreams. I hope that the story encourages you and shows you how important all that work we do as a food allergy mom is. But I know many of you have younger kids, and you might be wondering, how do we turn those big dreams and wins into practical steps that we can use right now to help our kids become independent? Well, I think that goal setting is one tool we can use, and setting goals, even small ones, can help reduce overwhelm and build confidence today and tomorrow. And remember, goals don't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as finding one new recipe or teaching you or your child a simple new skill. But I think it's important to think long term. For example, the habits and activities that you model in the next year are going to influence how your child acts in the future. I know that all of us want kids who grow into confident adults with good allergy habits, and so we should let this long-term goal guide our actions today. What is going to move you closer towards that goal of having a confident child with good allergy habits? If we can know that, then we can think about the habits and activities to model. Do you want to model fear and missing out, or are you hoping to model confidence and preparation? The goals will be different for each family, but it's important to consider what that long-term goal is so we can take a series of small steps that move us toward that goal. Because small steps over time add up to huge change. Trust me on that. And here's just a little tip for those of you who are hoping that your child is going to outgrow their allergy, or maybe you're doing OIT or a TIP. I don't want you to use that as an excuse not to prepare your child, because sometimes kids don't outgrow their allergies, and treatments are not necessarily a cure, which means that your child still needs to know how to be prepared. Don't wait, because it's easier to train them now in the younger years instead of waiting until they're older. Okay, so now that we know why it's important to set food allergy goals as a mom or family, let's break down the potential goals into manageable categories. This is going to help you think more clearly about what is important to you and your family, and when you know what's important, you can then choose the goals that work for you. So I'm going to break this down into 5 food allergy goal categories. Remember, your stage of life and season may mean that you have lots of goal in one area and none in the others. You don't have to make goals in every single category. Just pick what is important to you right now, and then next year, if your priorities change, you can then choose different categories to work on. The first category that I want to talk about is empowering your child. And I know this can feel overwhelming, but our kids are going to grow up faster than we think. Teaching them how to read labels, self-advocate, and even practice using an epinephrine trainer sets them up to handle life on their own. These aren't skills that you learn overnight, so starting now, step by step, makes the transition smoother when the time comes. If your child is age 2 to 8 or maybe even 9, I have a free checklist of skills that you can use as a great starting point and fun ways to actually incorporate this into everyday life. This will make it clear and easy for you. It's free, and you can go to friendlypantry.com/empowerment to grab it now. You can pause this episode and get it, or if you go after, I'll post the link in the show notes so that you know where to get it. But friendlypantry.com/empowerment. Category number 2 is advocacy. And friends, this is essential. You're going to use it so much. Because learning how to improve communication with your teachers, your family members, and improving your ability to explain food allergies for social events. These are things that happen all the time as your kids get older. So learning earlier is better, so you don't have to struggle through this. And if this is on your list of goals for this year, I highly recommend that you check out my social event survival pack and my school allergy template and success pack. Both of these are going to improve your advocacy skills right away without having to learn the hard way over many years. And I will take you by the hand in these, give you easy, quick things that I have learned work. So I want you to check them out at friendlypantry.com/school and or friendlypantry.com/social. Okay, let's move on to category number 3, which is self-care. And honestly, I used to roll my eyes whenever I would hear about self-care as a food allergy mom, because it can seem kind of superficial and inconsequential when food is something you need to protect your child from. But I really learned the hard way that finding time for your mental and physical well-being is important, because we all only have 24 hours in the day. That means that because food allergies take up a lot of that time, you may not be able to be involved as much in other things. For me, I had a season where I had to limit my volunteering at church. I had to volunteer less because I simply didn't have the capacity to volunteer and manage food allergies and everything else. If you're working outside the home, that's another thing to consider. Don't overbook yourself. It's okay to keep things manageable. Nobody else will know what it's like to live with food allergies, and so it's important to keep your boundaries. I actually overextended myself and ended up with shingles, which was a painful and hard way to learn this lesson, and I hope I can save you from something like that. If you want to know more about that whole story, go to episode 14 and I will explain what happened there. Okay, so goal category number 4 is community. And what this means is that you're going to either improve food allergy awareness in the community as a whole or give back to the food allergy community. This may be more or less important depending on the stage you're in. So my kids are teens and they are more independent, and so I have more time to increase, my food allergy community and awareness. That's why I create this podcast and guest on other people's podcasts to help more people understand about food allergies. I want to make a difference and I have more time to do that now, but I didn't for many years. This is not about feeling obligated. We as food allergy moms know that you can't do it all and your family has to come first. Don't worry, there's time to do it later when your circumstances allow it. Okay, category number 5 is developing life skills, and these are allergy life skills. So if you look at your life right now, when it comes to food allergies, where are you struggling most? Learning life skills from someone who has gone before you will make your life safer and more empowered. It's about being proactive. When we prioritize life skills, we're shifting from a place of anxiety to a place of preparedness. We can't control everything, but we can control what we teach and model our kids. And when our kids see us handling situations with confidence, they learn that they can too. So some of the life skills that this could break down into would be traveling, dining out, navigating school, advocating at social events, and even things like kitchen skills like meal planning and meal prep. So I want you to ask, what life skills do you think are most important to your family in 2025? For example, maybe it's getting allergy-friendly meals on the table. Then you want to learn the skill of meal planning for food allergies. You can start by listening to episode 24, where I go into detail about how to strategically meal plan specifically for food allergies. Now, maybe you want to learn more about dining out with food allergies, and I want to recommend my Dining Out with Food Allergies workshop. You can find it at friendlypantry.com/dining out. Maybe your doctor has been telling you to introduce a few new foods to your child and you've been putting it off. So maybe this year you're hoping to do more of that. I want you to start by looking at the Getting Over the Fear of Trying New Foods workshop at friendlypantry.com, new foods, again, all one word, new foods. This is going to help you with that goal if this is something that you really want to work on this year. Now, if 2025 is a year you want to try traveling with food allergies, I recommend you take my food allergy travel workshop. It's going to be friendlypantry.com/travel. As you can see, I am all about the life skills, and I believe that you do not have to do it alone. These workshops are going to move you from anxiety to preparedness. You don't have to figure things out all on your own or make mistakes, because you can learn from somebody who's gone before you and done it already. I've got you. And if you're listening to this episode right when it drops, you can get any of these workshops on sale for 15% off for the next day or two. So if you're interested in this, don't wait. Go and check it out. Use coupon code GOALS2024. That's GOALS 2024. But again, it's only for the next day or so left in this sale, so don't wait. Now that you've decided what your goals are going to be and what you want to prioritize, it's time to think about what your actionable steps are going to be. So you may have heard about a simple goal framework called SMART goals, and this means that you want goals to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying, I want to teach my child about their food allergies, reframe it to say, I will teach my child to read ingredient labels by practicing together once a week. Or if traveling is one of your goals, you could say, I want to teach my child about flying with their allergies by going on 2 flights this year. Or if trying new foods is one of your goals, you could say, I want to introduce 5 foods to my child by taking the Get Over the Fear of Trying New Foods workshop and then implementing what I learn over the next 5 weeks. Or if you want to develop your advocacy skills, you could say, I want to learn to advocate for food allergies at social events by using the Social Event Survival Template Pack for 5 events in the next 3 months. But even though we make these goals and we set these things up for ourselves, we know that it can be hard to move forward sometimes. That's why it's important to be actually accountable for your goals. So you want to build in a few ways to stay accountable. And one of them could be to start a journal. So you can write your goals down. You can check back once a week and see where you're at. Write down what you've done and what you're struggling with. And when it comes to that goal, if you identify what's stopping you, you can maybe brainstorm a few ways to overcome it. Another way to stay accountable is to share these goals with a friend or your husband so they can check in on you. Ask them to put reminders in their phone so that they can really keep you accountable. I want you to know that if you felt like last year you were in survival mode, this is your chance to turn things around. Maybe you can pick one skill a month to focus on, but small changes over time lead to big results. And I want to leave you with this thought. The small steps you take today will add up over time to make huge changes. Like me, you will suddenly find your child to be a teenager and you will see all the fruits of your labor coming together. Don't give up. It really is worth it. So what are your food allergy goals for 2025? Let me know by sending me a message on Instagram at Friendly Pantry. I love hearing from you. And if this podcast helped you in any way, please leave a 5-star review. This is one of the only ways I know that it impacted you, and it also helps other food allergy families who need it find the podcast too. Thanks for listening, and bye for now. Before you go, Mama, if you love this episode and want deeper support, head over to friendlypantry.com to see how we can partner together to keep your food allergy child safer and worry less. There's no need for wasting time searching all over Instagram, TikTok, and the web to get the practical knowledge you need for your family. While you're there, grab your free Food Allergy Kids Empowerment Guide or the newly diagnosed checklist today. Topics are not medical advice and are the opinions, views, and property of Friendly Pantry Consulting Incorporated. All rights reserved. Always contact your board-certified allergist immunologist for health advice.